It's Saturday morning, and that means it's time for Spartan Nation TV. With me, your host, Hondo Carpenter from SpartanNation.com. Joined by the Duckett Dynasty, legendary Michigan State and NFL running backs, Tico and TJ Duckett. Now, it's time for Spartan Nation TV. Good morning, everybody. Welcome back, Spartan Nation TV. Big smiles, I'm sure, in your living room as well as here on this set as Michigan State comes back. Responds to Ohio State with a 37-15 thumping of Maryland. I'm your host, Hondo Carpenter, along with legendary MSU and NFL running back, the great Tico Duckett.
Glad to be
and
here.
The Tie. TJ Duckett.
I like that. I like it.
Gentlemen, is it fair I call it a thumping? I think it was. I think there was a lot of warts we're going to talk about in the show, but I think it's a thumping.
It's fair to say it was a thumping, but the one thing that stands out to me is we started slow. You know, it's just one thing we can't do to be national champs, and we started slow, but we finished strong.
And I like the fact that we won because a win's a win, but I think expectations are high, and we want to come out and start fast, like Tico said, and be able to put points on the board, especially offensively. And defense did. They came to play.
Yeah.
Hey, at least Geiger was hitting field goals. He got 3 of 4.
Exactly.
We needed it. We needed it. That's confidence all the way around.
Momentum, and we just keep that momentum into the rest of the season.
Yeah.
Gentlemen, Michigan State moves to number 9 nationally. Again, they didn't take that fall of a drop after losing to Ohio State. Again, with 2 more games left, got a chance to maybe even move up closer to number 5. Your thoughts on being 9 in the country?
You know, we should be there. We have a great team. Ohio State's a great team. To lose against them, it shouldn't have knocked us out. So we're here, and we should be here.
I think we should be, too. We are one of the best, I believe, one of the best football programs in the country. And a loss to the teams that we've lost to, they're ranked pretty high as well.
Statistically, there are other bowls still in play, but legitimately, based on where Michigan State is right now and projecting out if teams win the games they should win, they're in play for 3 bowls. The Cotton Bowl down in Jerry's World in Dallas. Then, of course, you have the Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl in Atlanta, the Citrus Bowl in Florida. Internally at Michigan State, there's a lot of thought that the fan base has some Florida fatigue. They've spent a lot of time in Florida since D'Antonio got here. Do you agree with that? Would you like to see him in a different bowl in Texas or in Georgia, Tico?
You know, I believe we do have Florida fatigue, and I would like to be down in Georgia or Dallas, but if we're going to play Alabama and Florida, I'm there.
Yeah, I agree with Tico. I'll help you out.
You're ignoring me.
I didn't see you over there.
I agree. Hey, I'm walking to Florida if we play Alabama.
Yeah, whoever we play, I mean, I think that'd be a big deal.
For this team, though, when you think about this, TJ, I think this is a brilliant thought process. They have a chance to win double digits, and you guys know, because you're interacting with the fans all the time like I am, there's a sense of depression among the fans.
Yeah, I mean, it's great. I mean, to actually have a chance to have played in possibly the first playoff. And, I mean, the team responded when they had to. They didn't respond in the important moments. But us as fans, we all still believe that they're that quality of team. And it is a little sad.
We've heard it all year. The Big Ten, overrated. The Big Ten, ESPN especially, which, for the sake of the record, we need to make people know. The ESPN had an opportunity to bid to be the host of the Big Ten network. The Big Ten chose to go with Fox. ESPN owns the SEC network. They own the college football playoff rights. So there is definitely, in my opinion, a bias with ESPN when it comes to the SEC because they have a financial interest.
Sure.
But I'm asking us 3, do you think the Big Ten is overrated or underrated?
You know, I'll say this. I'll take our top 4 teams in the Big Ten and play anyone else in the SEC, anywhere else packed in, and we'll beat them.
I think,
or at least get a great game.
I think we started out the year slowly as a Big Ten conference. I mean, we struggled in the first couple weeks, but coming on strong now, playing the football that we're playing now, I think we're doing pretty well, and we're setting record. We're doing a lot of things positive.
But you got Wisconsin, Nebraska.
Yeah.
You know, us, Ohio State.
How about Minnesota?
Minnesota's coming along.
I mean, I like it.
You know, absolutely.
I throw this out to you very quickly. Indiana's the worst team in the Big Ten. The SEC East leading team is Missouri. Indiana went into their house and whooped them.
Big Ten's coming on strong.
It took us a minute to get together. It took us a minute to get together.
Right.
Totally agree. When we come back on Spartan Nation TV, it's the second segment. You know where we're going. Dave Warner and the offense next.
MSU Federal Credit Union is a proud supporter of Michigan State University athletics.
On or off the court.
MSU Federal Credit Union
supports my team.
my team.
My team.
My team. And we just wanted to say thanks.
Thank you, MSU FCU.
Thanks.
Thank you.
The Tide.
Capital T.
I like the capital T.
Wait, what capital O?
Capital T.
Don't ever do that again. Capital T. No, you did like that.
This segment of Spartan Nation TV is brought to you by our good friends at Simple T Printing and Embroidery. We make shirts and we give back. Good morning, welcome back, Spartan Nation TV. I'm your host, Hondo Carpenter, along with Tico Duckett and the Tide.
I like that.
Capital T, capital O, capital double D's with little
The little.
T-H-E.
Wait, what?
The.
The V is little.
I like it.
The Tide is caps.
Okay.
The
I
Tide.
can handle that.
Gentlemen, let's turn to the offense. 484 yards, but
I mean, I don't know what to say. I mean, we put up these numbers. We put up numbers, and they're numbers, but there's numbers left on the field. There's plays left on the field. There's opportunity left. So, again, great job. Wonderful, wonderful play. But we also didn't, I mean, points, everything's being left on the field.
You know, I just want to say Langford. We're not utilizing him the way we need to utilize him. Nope. And it's messing up how Connor Cook is playing, because if you run. I know Hondo's different, pass to run, but we run to pass.
I want to make it clear. I am a run guy.
Sure.
But when teams are putting 9 men in the box, you've got to pass so you can run.
True, but right now Langford's hot. He's running. Yeah. I mean, look at Wisconsin. I mean, they're running the ball. We should be doing the same thing, and that's how I think of national championship.
I think Nebraska had 800 men in the box, and they weren't going to stop Melvin Gordon. Guys,
right.
14 straight Big Ten game, Langford goes over 100 yards. Does he need any more proof, TJ?
That's phenomenal. It's hard enough to get 100 yards in a game, let alone 14 straight, including the Big Ten championship, or the Rose Bowl, I'm sorry. Including
not the Rose Bowl.
The Big Ten
It was the Rose Bowl also, though. But I'm just saying, 14 straight.
Yeah, I mean that's what I'm saying. I mean, to do that it's phenomenal, and I think it's not a secret that he can play, he can run the ball, and we should give him more carries.
But the where I keep going to, it's great, but he could be such a better player.
Sure.
You know, he could make so much more of a difference that I think we're limited him and celebrating 100 yards when we should be talking 200-yard games.
Well,
Sure.
what I don't understand, and it's baffling to me, and it's baffling for the viewer at home. TJ, you can tell them if I'm any way misrepresenting this, but because of your NFL background, and you know this, I do have lots of guys in the NFL that I know. True or false?
True.
And I had one NFL high-ranking management official of a team text me when they ran Nick Hill on 3rd and short. Why? And no one dislikes Nick Hill.
Right.
We all think he's a very good player, but it's like trying to put me at wideout. That dog ain't gonna hunt.
That'd be terrible.
Why try to run in between the tackles? Explain that to me.
I don't know. I mean, I'm not there calling the plays, and I don't know. And maybe it is a change of pace that they're trying to get. And Nick Hill runs very, very hard. And maybe
he does.
And maybe the truth is, in that 1-2 yard range, maybe Nick Hill is a harder runner in that time. I mean, and maybe that's why he gets those opportunities. But to have a running back like Langford, he gets stronger as the game goes on. And all these plays, they build up for plays later. I mean, whether you're setting people up, whether you missed the read and then call the play again, I see it because the defense is going to do the same thing. So that might be the answer.
Rick Simon from Fowler emailed the show, Tico, and he wanted me to ask you, Who do you think Langford's more like, TJ or you?
You know, I would have to say he's right in the middle.
I agree.
I mean, he's right in the middle because he uses his speed. He has a burst. He can run over you. He can catch the ball at the backfield, and he can block. So he has it all.
Yeah, I'd agree. I mean, he's not the big back running straight lines, and he's not the little back that's scatty. He slashes in, slashes out, picks up the blitz, and makes big, hard runs. And the thing that I really love is his yards after contact. I mean, it's very rare there's one or two people bring him down right at the line of scrimmage.
You know, something else I noticed, watching the offensive line, when he's in there, I see them more downfield sometimes than he is. So there's something about when they're blocking for him, they know he's running downhill. They know he could bounce left or right. So they're playing harder.
I'm going to give you a credit. That is brilliant analysis on your part.
Brilliant.
Oh, thank you.
And I'm going to tell you this,
Brilliant.
because when I'm with the guys at practice,
Sure.
You guys know this. There are certain running backs, offensive linemen love to block for.
Sure.
They love it when
love-
Langford's in the back.
And you can tell, I mean, the guys are falling downfield. That tells you something.
Yeah.
You know, Langford could be over there, and here goes this offensive lineman taking somebody downfield. And you got to love that as a running back.
That's a good one. Pete emailed in from Birmingham, Michigan, TJ, and Pete wanted to ask you, with Langford being a senior, how do you see him projecting as a pro? Do you think he has a future?
I do. And the thing with him, one, he can prove that he's consistent running the ball. Having 14 games straight, he's consistent.
Doesn't turnovers,
but he also picks up the blitz, and he also catches the ball at the backfield. All that combined put him in the proper system. He can be a third down back. He could be a featured back. He could be a change of pace back. And there won't be a drop-off in productivity if he is there. So I think he has a great chance.
You know, I also think because they're not using him 100%, the pro scouts are looking at him as he hasn't really been used yet.
Yeah.
So they'll bring him in. He's going to be considered a fresh back, and they'll like him.
Cook, you're watching on some of his throws. He's not putting a whole lot of weight on that left knee. I'm not saying it's injured. I'm just saying it's just evident he's not driving into it. Have you noticed he's lost a little bit of his zip? He was only 14 to 31.
Sure. No, he's lost it, definitely. I don't know if it's the Ohio State game or what's going on in his world. Maybe he's thinking about pro, but he definitely needs to come back and get focused.
I go back to that not Youngstown, but the game early at the beginning of the season against Jacksonville State where he got hit in the knee.
Yeah, and I think something is a little bit off, and maybe it's just the end of the year, a lot of pressure. Who knows?
We just hope he gets it. All right, Spartan Nation TV, when we come back, we turn to the Nardog. Defense.
We're an underdog company, and we kind of relish that role. We're not on the top of the mountaintop. You know, hopefully one day our goal is to be #1 sportswear in the world. Will that happen? We don't know, but we're going to try to get there.
Hi, I'm Kevin Whitkin, owner of Discount 1 Hour Signs. We've been proudly serving the Lansing area since 1979. We pride ourselves in producing the best signs at the best prices, fast. From traditional graphics, vehicle wraps, lighted signs, whatever your needs, we do it all. Remember, a business with no sign is a sign of no business. Discount Signs, Lansing's top sign shop since 1979.
This segment of Spartan Nation TV is brought to you by our good friends at the MSU Federal Credit Union, proud sponsors of MSU Athletics. Good morning, welcome back, Spartan Nation TV. I'm Hondo Carpenter, your host, along with Tico and
The Todd.
I like that.
T-double.
I like that.
T-double.
you know it's bad now because now he wants to be like Tyson and get an entourage who will just follow him. The Todd.
I got some theme music.
And with the beer.
We need to play that.
That would be pretty funny. Gentlemen, we turn now to the defense. Of course, the Nardog, back at it. They only gave up 6 yards rushing.
Hey, they're back at it. You know, they're a good D. You know, they're playing a team last week that didn't have any offense, so it showed even more that the defense held up.
There is a definite line in energy between offensive and defensive personnel. That offense came out kind of slow, sputtered. Defense came out last week, and they were ready to go. They were fired up, flying around from the minute they stepped on the field. And I think part of it was the disappointing performance they had against Ohio State.
Definitely.
And they had to reprove who they were, and they did that.
Gentlemen, after the season every year, I do a series of articles about what went ... wrong or right after the year. And one of the things that I'm going to address this year after the bowl game is the fact that Mark D'Antonio must reassess this team. I don't think they have the right attitude on offense. They need to have the same offense mentality on offense that they have on defense, which is attack, bench guys that don't do it, let's go. I think it hurts them because the teams that are always in discussion have that mentality on both sides of the ball. Am I right or wrong?
No, you're totally right. I've said that since the beginning of the season, that there's something about Coach D who comes out and he kind of wants to do it slowly. He kind of wants to start out, he wants to feel it out, and then he turns it on offense, and that's just not a championship game or team.
Somehow do what we do in the second half to start the game.
Right.
I mean, by the end of games, we're punishing teams, and maybe that is our MO, is to wear you down slowly, and by the end of the game, you don't want it anymore. But how can we flip the switch the minute we get out there and start fast? That's the question.
But for example, with our defense, you saw Chris Norman, who was the most popular player on the team his senior year, get benched for Tawan Jones. You saw R.J. Williamson, very popular player, benched. You see benchings on defense. You just don't see that much on offense. You don't see that sense of urgency.
And that keeps a sense of urgency. I mean, if you,
What? I'm out?
you know you ain't going to play, there's a sense I need to make a play right now.
Right.
Well, TJ had said earlier, sometimes it's a little hard on offense because you have to gel. You know, you have to learn your position. Defense is like, hey, read a key and go get the ball. But there still can be some a side of competition that we don't have on offense.
But you know, I think part of the offensive side, there isn't a voice. There isn't a fire starter.
A leader.
There isn't a leader. I mean, that's yes, it takes some time for it to gel and to find a nice cohesive unit, but who is there getting fired up? I mean, not because the play was the receiver dropped the ball, but I mean, there's no energy that, I mean, it's just like catch the ball, good job, hey, you know, but there's nothing that gets you just going and jacked up.
Lippett, I thought was going to be that guy.
Yeah.
But he hasn't turned into
Last
that
couple
guy.
weeks, he's taken it back. He was that guy.
Yeah.
But it helps when you're getting the ball. It helps when you're making plays downfield. Who is the guy who is motivating players in the huddle, on the sideline, who isn't just doing it after they make a big play? That's the question.
I got nothing.
You like that?
No, but I'm the T. No, but my point is you're absolutely right. They don't. That is why, and you know, we said this on this show last year. If you watched our special before the bowl game last year when we looked ahead, the biggest loss on this team was not Max Bola. It wasn't Danico Sallin. All they're playing the field are Darquez. It was their leadership. The three of them together, in tandem, or against each other would call the other out.
No, that's true. And we have three more games to find one. But, you know, Connor Cook should be the leader. I mean, this guy should be. I mean, he's a
But there was a reason he wasn't on the leadership council.
Yeah, there's a
reason he wasn't elected captain.
You know, Langford's a leader, but he's not a voiceful leader. He's an on-the-field leader, like you were, like I was. But, you know, maybe Tony Lippett's that guy. Maybe Jack Allen. Maybe you got the lineman.
And that right there, in my opinion, is the reason we lost those two games earlier in the year.
I totally agree.
It's that fourth quarter, that second half. Everyone's waiting for someone. Where on the other teams, you got vocal leaders who are saying, we're not going to lose this game. We're hyping up our own teammates. And now they go out, and we're just like, so who's going to say that for us?
You saw C.J. Barrett, the quarterback, the young quarterback at Ohio State, after the second special teams fumble, ran over there screaming at the guy.
Yep.
You need that, don't you?
Yeah, you got to have that, and that's why we have lost those two games, and that's the difference between where we're at now and being outside the playoffs.
So safe to assume all three of us agree. I would like to see the defensive mentality and Narduzzi brought to our offense.
Absolutely.
Leadership, more leadership on that. Yep.
Totally agree. When we come back on Spartan Nation TV, we turn our attention to the Big Ten and Rutgers, today's victim.
I bet you've got some dreams. My dreams drive my passion. To do what I love.
To make a difference by teaching others.
To make the world a greener and better place. To run my own business.
To see where the road takes me.
MSU Federal Credit Union offers auto loans to help drive your dreams to reality.
We know you've got dreams. MSU FCU can help.
This segment of Spartan Nation TV is brought to you by our good friends at Message Makers, creators of experiences that transform. Good morning, welcome back to Spartan Nation TV. I'm your host, Hondo Carpenter, along with legendary MSU and NFL running backs, the great Tico and the Tide.
Where's the light switch? Where's the light?
Hold on.
Okay.
You are like a 4-year-old. I want the light.
Give me the light.
I want the light.
Wait for it.
Why is that old song? I saw the light.
So when are you going to do the light?
Oh, my prediction?
Okay.
Let's hope it was better than last week. Guys, Rutgers.
Yeah.
So we're playing a bunch of accountants. I'm sorry. By the way,
You know they're watching this. You know.
I know. You guys, sorry. Guys, I'm sorry. When Rutgers joined the Big Ten, I could see Maryland. I didn't like the addition of Maryland, although having been out there, that was an amazing experience. I'm glad they're part of the Big Ten. Rutgers, I was on their campus earlier this year, and I talked to 25 students. 25 random students walking on campus. Okay?
Yep.
3 knew they were members of the Big Ten. They can't fill their own stadium, which is 40,000 people. This is a team that shouldn't be in the Big Ten. How do you get excited when you're playing a group of pocket-protected accountants? It just doesn't make sense to me.
It doesn't make sense, but you know as well as I do, it's all about money, and we're not going to make it. Somebody's going to make it, but it's all about money, and this is just a game you got to get up for. You got to look to get more people in. You got to get through it and position yourself for the next game.
And I mean, any given Saturday, anybody can win. So I don't want to say that this is a,
and they certainly can.
Yes, I don't want to say that.
Sure.
But these are games that you expect to win, but you expect to get better within the game. So hopefully this will be the time when you see a leader step up who maybe hasn't stepped up before. See everything. I mean, we still haven't had a game where everything gelled yet.
Not yet.
Right.
So maybe this is that game, and hopefully that's why these teams are on our schedule.
They can practice kickoff. That's what they can do. They can practice kickoff on there.
That's true. Is this game more about the Spartans? Because I'm going to tell you something. I don't think Rutgers has anything to do with this game.
Yeah.
I think this game is about Michigan State coming out saying, we're still mad. We should have been in the playoff. We're 9th in the country. We are going to turn you into a victim.
Absolutely. I mean, we're still fighting to get to a great bowl game. I mean, we have a lot to play for now, and we need to keep taking it out on these guys and be the Spartan team that we are and try to put up some big numbers.
And it's still building the program, and we're still you don't want to go in and go talk to recruits after a loss to Rutgers and I mean, watch the season start spiraling out of control.
Absolutely not.
So I mean, it's a way for us to continue to reset our standard and prove that we are that team that we want to be and have a big win late in the year.
I got an email from Carla this week, and I'm not going to use her name because, quite frankly, I don't want any repercussions.
Didn't you say Carla?
I'm not going to use her last name. I'm not going to use any repercussions.
I mean, I'm not going to tell you who it is. I'm not going to tell you who it is, but it's Carla.
Okay. Out of the hundreds of thousands of Carlas out there. But,
what's her last name?
Yeah, exactly. I'm sure Amy Jo wants to say that. Okay, so her and her husband go to the games with her elderly parents, and the elderly parents have had the tickets for a long time. And so she left early after the Nebraska game because it was 10:30 at night. It was cold. The play calling had changed. She wanted to go. Same thing happened with Ohio State. They left early because she said it was cold and we were getting killed. She said, I'm tired as a consumer being called out by people at Michigan State when we leave early. We're buying those seats. Give us a break. Agree with Carla?
I agree with Carla. When you buy a ticket, you can decide when you leave, when you get there. You can decide what you do with your money.
Totally agree. TJ, I want you to answer that after the break. We'll be right back. Spartan Nation TV.
The right moves can win a game. The wrong move can take you out. Get off the sidelines and back in the game with world-class care from MSU Sports Medicine. Our team of physicians and specialists diagnose and treat athletic and performance injuries. We've expanded our care to include pediatric sports and injuries associated with dance and performing arts. Our team will get you back on track, whatever your game. Call MSU Sports Medicine at 884-6100.
Hi, I'm Kevin Whitkin, owner of Discount 1 Hour Signs. We've been proudly serving the Lansing area since 1979. We pride ourselves in producing the best signs at the best prices, fast. From traditional graphics, vehicle wraps, lighted signs, whatever your needs, we do it all. Remember, a business with no sign is a sign of no business. Discount Signs, Lansing's top sign shop since 1979.
Spartan Nation TV is brought to you by our good friends at Video Vision 360, high octane, in the action videography specializing in sports, entertainment, and adventure. And by Claudia Irish Pub. Claudia Irish Pub, home of the Guinness Perfect Pour. This segment of Spartan Nation TV is brought to you by our good friends at Moneyball. Moneyball, it's the only way to ball. Welcome back, Spartan Nation TV. TJ, I want to throw that last email we were addressing from Carla at the last segment because I think it's important. Her voice needs to be heard. Her elderly mom said maybe we shouldn't renew our tickets next year because we're disappointed in them because we can't stay that late. Her mom wasn't doing it for attention, but it was. I think Michigan State is making a dangerous move going after the paying fan here.
Yeah, I do too. I think one thing that once you buy your ticket, what you do with it, how you do with it, it's up to you. But when you're asking people to stay late on cold games, and quite frankly, the team's not really winning and playing that well.
Or had stopped playing well.
Yeah. I mean, that there's a difference there. And again, football's such a crazy sport. It can easily come down to the final seconds. So if you do wait, it may help. But I mean, you're asking a lot of people, and they're also paying a huge amount for a ticket. So it could be a problem.
Predictions. What do you think today?
Predictions. Well, I expect us to roll them over. You know, I expect a 42-10 game. If we can somehow just stick to the running game for a little while and start early and just try to get Connor Cook slowly back into the rhythm, I think we'll do well today.
My turn. Hold on.
Wait a minute. I forgot about that.
Hold on. Let me make. Can y'all see? I'm
thinking the light doesn't work.
I'm thinking. I think defense is on fire. Defense is frustrated from what happened a few weeks ago. They didn't come out today and stop them. All forms of the game, and offensively we'll put up 24 points. 24 to 0. 20. What is he?
I'm gonna go a little bit of a different angle than both of you. I think the defense is motivated, and this is why I want to see that offensive mentality change to be like Pat Narduzzi. I do, however, think the offense has a lot to prove, and they still need to get out there and they need to work on a lot. So I think at the end of the day, it's a 48-6 win, Michigan State.
48-6.
24 to 0.
Last thing, guys, we've got 30 seconds left, but I want to ask. Michigan State, 10 penalties, 75 yards last week.
Yeah.
They've got to cut down on the unforced errors. The dumb penalties are killing them.
That's dumb, and I don't understand where that's coming from. You know,
2 weeks in a row.
Yep, 2 weeks in a row. I don't know what's going on. D'Antonio needs to hone them in.
I agree with you. All right, we'll see you next week. Remember, it's a date, same place, same time. We'll see you then.
Guest of Spartan Nation, stay at Country Inn and Suites. Curtis Grid.